is let's make some names today, huh? This is a tip. This is block C. That one right there. What you need to know about this block is the kitty is hanging over all the books. And so he's going to block the titles on the books. So don't iron that kitty down until you've got all the labels on the books, if you are labeling your books. So I want to show you what I've done is I've built his head. His head is done, his eyes are on, his ears are on, his head is on his neck. And down here, he's one piece. I am not going to iron his tail to his body yet because I remember when I did this the first time, I put the tail on after the books. I had already put the tail on the kitty, or I had put the whole cat on. Maybe I put the whole cat on. And I didn't like the way his tail covered up the title on the book because you couldn't read it very good. So I'm going to wind his tail around. His tail is very movable. Very movable aroundy. See? You can like move it up or down or lower or higher. So I'm going to do his tail last. I'm not going to attach it to him yet. And I'm not going to attach his feet to him yet. Same reason. Maybe I'll want to move him over 1/4 of an inch to see an E or an I or an O or something. So his feet are still loose. His tail is still loose. But his head and his eyes and his ears are together. So I'm going to put him aside until I get the names on these books. All right, let's talk some more about this block C. You can see I've got Mr. Green Jeans hanging here loosely. He's not ironed on yet, he's just loose. And then I've got my book titles. What title am I going to put on what book? And I actually found that I made some mistakes on this block and I got the books mixed up, but it doesn't matter. They still look good. But some of the books are in the bookcase upside down, like this one. So on this one, I've got to put the title. See how I've got it upside down? I've got to put the title upside down on that one. So I'm only going to put 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to title all the books. 4, 5, 6, 7. But that's a lot of books right there. So what I want to tell you about labeling the books is you have to figure each one separately. You can't just go into your scan and cut out a bunch of words, because the books are different widths, different lengths. Like look at this one right here. These two words, this book is going to be called Cattails and the title is going to be in here. These other books, the title is going to be the full length of the book, so it will be much, much longer words. So what I do is I measure the area where I'm going to put the name. I go and I pick a vinyl color. I bring my vinyl colors. I'll take this to my vinyl colors that are in the other room. I'll figure out what color vinyl do I want the letters on this book. And then I'll write down what size of space I'm going to put that on. And then I will take this with me to figure out what the words are. This one's going to be finicky felines. So it will be all the way across here, and you can see, you'll be able to see the title of this book above his nose. It might be covered up a tiny bit. Then I can put a title on that book, the whole thing will show. But if I put a title on this book and this book, it's going to be covered up too much by his belly. This one, I'm going to put Story of Boots on. And it'll say story this way, and then the of would be on his belly, and then boots would be down here. I think either that or I'll put story of boots, and his belly will cover up some of the words. But the whole name Boots will show here on this side. Okay, does that make sense? I've made up a few new names. Here's one called Snakes in the Grass. Our kitties always found snakes. Bootsy found a great big huge black one. Goodness, must have been 3 foot long. Found him in our garage and he was just standing there, his paws out and his nose pointed and didn't move. We thought, what the heck is he looking at? And that'll be Tale of Two Kitties down here. Now, remember. You're going to lose 1/4 inch of this book. when this is sewn to the other block underneath it, you're going to lose a 1/4 inch of it. So when you measure for your book title, measure what it's going to be finished, not what it's going to be now. I hope that makes sense. Just FYI, it's Thursday, August the 18th today, and we're getting ready to do names on books, titles, and Mr. B is downstairs right now, so I have to be kind of quiet. But remember, we're working on dinosaurs, okay? All right, so the dinosaurs. I want to put some words under the dinosaurs. And to do words, you've got to have the words first. Now, there's a couple ways you could do it. Well, a couple ways I can think of right now. There's probably 10 different ways you can do it. I could go into my computer and go to Word, or I could go to Photoshop, and I could type the words. God bless America. That's a funny thing to put under a dinosaur. Well, let's play like that's what we're going to put, okay? And I could type that, and I could size it. I could make it a certain length. I could make it a certain height. I could make it a certain font. I could print it out in high resolution and get a really nice dark image of it. Then I could bring that in here, and I could put it on my big sheet that I showed you that you put in there to scan things with. And I could scan it that way and get it into my scan and cut. But having done this before, to be able to adjust it easily and have the two talk to each other, the words God bless America here and the scan and cut over there, and for them to communicate with each other and me to be able to pop back and forth if I need to, the best way to do it, if you purchased a scan and cut, you also got software with it. Canvasworkspace.com. I think anybody can actually go there, but I'm not sure. Maybe you have to have a code or something. But if you bought the scan and cut, you have it. So we're going to go to canvasworkspace.com. Let's go there and type some words. Alrighty. See if I can remember how to use a computer. This is, oops, one of them fell off. This is what we're working on, my friends. Dinosaurs. Alright, where did that go? Oh, I know where that one goes. It goes right there. So I have the names written on little post-it notes, and then I have the post-it notes pinned in the area where I want to put the words on the dinosaur, see? So we're going to go into, now it's always hard to show somebody your screen on your laptop, but I'll see if you can see it. Canvasworkspace.com. Can you see me now? Hit enter. Somebody told me you didn't have to put www. I'm so excited. See, there it is. Canvas Workspace. Now here's a place where you register, so probably you have to go in there and register with a serial number or something before you can use it, okay? So I'm going to log in. It knows my login. I've shown you all this before, but I need to keep better track of my videos and what's in them. Someday I should sit down and catalog those. I need a secretary. I need to find somebody who wants a secretary job and hire them to come work with me. I need a camera person and a secretary. Maybe she can double task, multitask. Alrighty, we're not going to download Canvas Workspace. You can. You can download Canvas Workspace and then you can just have it in your computer, but don't do that because it works better if you do it online. Ask Becky over there at Power Tools with Thread. She's the one that told us that. Okay, we're not going to use any of these things. We could go to My Projects and find the ones that I did the first time. Let me see if any of those are in here. Yeah. Yeah. They are. Look at this. My goodness. Hello, Earth to Joy. Don't start over. Just use these. So what you do is you can click on this arrow and it will download it, or you can click on this arrow and it will let you edit it. So let's open it up. And look at that. Look at all those titles that are already there. Don't Eat the Feathers. Oh my gosh. We had a cat, Barney. We had a dinosaur. You know that dinosaur named Barney? We used to go out in the garage and there'd just be this pile of feathers there outside the door. So I'd say evidently they don't eat the feathers. So I made a book called Don't Eat the Feathers. Isn't that cute? Okay, Whiskers and Waggles, Fur Cleaning Tips, Happy Paws, Fish Soup for the Kitty Soul. So I like all of those. So I am going to send those over there to the Scan and Cut. Let's save this again. To save, these things are all strange looking. To save, you click on this button right here, if I remember right, and it'll say, do you want to overwrite this? Saving this project is completed. Okay. You know, the main thing to start with was I had to come up with titles. And so that took a lot of time. That took a lot of sleepless nights when I don't sleep anyway, and one of them would come to me. Or I'd be driving someplace and I'd think, oh, I just thought of one. Oh, I just thought of one. So that's kind of how I came up with my titles. Okay. Yay. So I don't think I need to go into a lot of detail here to show you how you put the names here online on canvasworkspace.com. Then I'll send them. You want to see me send them? It's so easy, and they're probably already there, but I'll send them anyway. And right here where it says in giant letters so nobody could possibly miss it unless you're me, it says download. And then you can tell it you want it to go. Oh look, download to PC. Let's try that. Now it is in this PC, and I can tell it to print, but I have to use a printer that's downstairs, so we have to make sure he's gone. And over here is how you send it to your Scan and Cut. Scan and Cut transfer's ready, so it's gone. So I have sent it into a file folder. It's actually in my downloads folder in this laptop, and it's now over there too. How about that? So aren't you excited? Okay, so what I want to show you now is play like we don't have that. Play like we don't have that. We've never done this before in our whole lives. And so anytime you want to get out of this screen here, you click on Canvas Workspace. And then it'll say, do you want to download this software? No. And you just come back to the beginning. And so now if you want to make a brand new one, which we do, we come over here to New. Hopefully you're seeing this on my computer. I've got lights shining all over the place. Alright, now we have a blank mat. Look at the mat. It says Brother. It has an arrow down here and an arrow up there. It matches the mat that's on the wall. So you know you've got the right kind of thing going on here. That you might want to know if it's a 12 by 24 or a 12 by 12. There's only two sizes. And if you come here to this box that has all the lines on it, it might let you pick the size, but it won't. You got to figure out where to go to do everything here. How about project? Yeah, click on project, and then you can tell it if you want to work with 12 by 12 inch or 12 by 24 inch. And since my vinyls are 12 by 12, I'm going to tell it 12 by 12. Get a ruler. Get a ruler. Get a ruler. Get a nice ruler, something you can read easily. I'm going to use this because you can see through it and it has lots of measurements. So what I'm going to do is, let's start with this one right here. I've got the dinosaur on it. He's not ironed on. He's not ironed on. He's just laying there. Because you can't have him on until after you get the title. So this is the only one that is going to cover up a bunch of the words. And so you want to make sure that you're able to put that on here before you put him on here, okay? And maybe you just want to cut off the part that's going to be covered up by him. You decide how you want to do it. So this one is going to be, let me see, we need to name our dinosaur. What should we name him? Let's name him Dino, okay? So we're going to call this one, Story of Dino. Story of Dino, but not really. It's really that guy. You can't have a dinosaur named that. So what we're going to do, we don't want the title to go all the way to here and all the way to here, obviously. So we need to leave some room between. So I am going to measure. You've got to have a marker of some sort. Get your friction markers out. Hello, where are you, friction marker? Don't use chalk. Chalk usually doesn't come back out. I don't like to use it. Okay, so I've got a pink friction marker. Why friction markers? Because they come off with an iron. All right, so we're going to measure. We have 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches from here to here is 2.5. From here to here is, oh, I hate these kind of rulers. If you get the Quilter Select rulers, the numbers go both ways. Oh, that is so nice. 10. So we've got 2.5 by 10. And we're going to come in, I'd say let's come in 1/2 inch all the way around. 1/2. And you know, if you don't know what books look like and what direction they should be in the bookshelf, go look at your real books. That's what I did. I can barely see that, but it's there. 1/2. 1/2. And make sure you're using a friction pen and not a whiteboard marker. 1/2. I want to know how big to make it in the software. How big do I want it to be when it gets cut out? Alright? Now you all do this however you think. Remember, I always tell you, this is just how I do it. You can say, and many of you will say, well, you should have done this. This is dried up, so throw it away and get you a different one. I've used my friction markers. There's a lot of them that are dried up. I need to order whole nother batch. And they're in my Amazon store, friends. They are there. Let's draw this and see if you can see it. Yes, 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 that's much better. Get a friction marker that writes. Alright, so now why did I do that? I did that because for the words that I'm going to cut out, I don't need to know the full size of this. I need to know the size of where I want to put the words. Does that make sense? And I want to put the words right here in this box. And he is going to cover some of them up, whether I like it or not. But at least I know the name of the dinosaur, Dino, will be right here and it will show up. Go and get some real books. That's what I did. Get some real books. Look at how they are. You know what's right side up because you're going to have the titles on the front, right? Look at how they are. This one actually has the little strip at the bottom and it has stripes here and here. This one doesn't have any stripes at the top or the bottom. It's got that little diagonal line. And this one doesn't have any stripes. It's just got all the words. So, I don't know, maybe you could find a book that, look, it's got this orange stripe up there, not down there, so this is the top. But maybe nobody on the entire planet would even care but me. I'm going to go look for some more books. Check these out. The top is here. This is the top. So these have some stripes on the bottom. Not stripes, but different color boxes. I need to glue that down. This has one in the center. So maybe you can make all the words right side up and it wouldn't make any difference what end the little stripe is on. You know, I always just assumed that would be at the top of the book, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just stick a picture of a dinosaur in it or something. Look at all these pictures on this book. All these sewing machines and seam rippers and stuff. Yeah. I'll be back. Ta-da! I did not do this last time I made this. This is so helpful, because you can mark off what one you've done and you can measure the exact size of it. Well, this isn't the exact size of it. You can't go measure the size from this because it's shrunk down to fit on this paper. So don't go by that. But you can see your fonts and look at all the different fonts. That's one thing I really liked about the Canvas workspace, was they had a lot of really nice fonts to do these words with. So I have way more titles than this. I have 2 pages of them in there in the other room. Some of them are the same, some of them are new. So I've decided I'm not going to put Story of Dino on that book. I'm going to put it someplace where I can see the whole thing. So every place there's a name of a dinosaur, I want the whole title to show. So I'll put some other title on that book. I don't know what yet, but let me go ahead, get it over to the Scan and Cut, and bring it up and show you how I choose the color that I want and all of those kind of things, okay? And then I get it cut out and how I put it on. It's taking me a long, long time to do this because it's been probably a year since I did the other one. And so it's kind of like starting over. But I am so, so happy that I didn't delete this. I never dreamt in a trillion years. I never make the same thing twice. I never, ever, ever dreamt I would be doing this again. So I'm really excited that I have got these. I'll be back. All right, he's gone, he's outside, yay! All right, now this is how I work. This is how I work. You may not want to get on the floor, you may hate to get on the floor, whatever. You do what's comfortable for you, okay? I'm going to try to set this up so you can actually see it. Now, I just happen to have 3 boxes of heat transfer vinyl, plain. Why does it say plain? Because I have another box or 2 of HTV vinyl, heat transfer vinyl glitter. Now, I did 1 glitter book on Viv's quilt, 1. And then I decided, you know, I don't want to do a lot of glitter. I don't want it to look goofy. So I just did 1 glitter book. So I've just got my plain out. Now, the easiest way to work with this vinyl is to have sheets like this. See, all of these sheets, these have been gathered up from when I did this last time. They were all over this room, everywhere. So these are the easiest to cut and use, but I also have a whole bunch of rolls because I just bought, you know, what I could find at the time, and if they were on sale or they were a good price or they had the colors that I wanted, I bought rolls. And look here, I have some that are a print. I hope I can use this print on here somewhere. I think that is so cool. So what I do is I bring the books over here on the floor. You could put a table up in here. Of course, you know, I have to put everything away when I get done with it because this is a surprise. This is the private project. And I have to put everything away every day. So, you know, I don't want to get too many things out in here. It would be nice to have a great big table up here, though, so you didn't have to get on the floor. So here's the block I'm working on. This is block C. There's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. This is C. This is on the top right-hand corner. It is the only one where the cat covers up all the books, most of the books. So you're not going to be able probably to put names on all of them. You don't have to put names on any of them if you don't want to. My goodness, this would be done. Or I'd be up to sewing the kitties down. But I'm not going to sew the kitty down at all here until I've got all these names on the books like I told you. Okay? So what I do is I look at the color of the book. Then I come over here and I look at all my colors. Now, this book has a purple tag up there. Purple, I don't know what you would call that, a purple stripe in the book. I decided it doesn't matter if this is on the bottom of the book or the top of the book. I have seen books both ways. So I am going to pull this out of my stack, and it matches this. Can you see? It matches this real good. So I am going to take this to go play with for the title on that book, which is going to be Eat, Sleep, Pray, P-R-E-Y, Eat, Sleep, Pray. Okay, so that's going to be color number 1. The next book is a peach color. Now I've got peach, and I could put this peach on that peach, but I don't know that it would show up real good. You know what? This pretty print. This has pink in it, not peach though. Oh my gosh, this is just so pretty. What kind of vinyl do I buy? Whatever's on sale. But I have found that this Sizer brand is a really good brand. Isn't that fun? That is just so fun. So I definitely want to use that on a book. You know, that actually wouldn't look bad there, and it matches with that book. I mean, the colors would definitely blend. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. I might use that for that one. That one's called Finicky Felines. So this may be for book number 2. I wanted to use that on that other one, and I just didn't find a good place to use it, or I thought maybe, you know, they wouldn't like it. You know, sometimes things you like, other people hate. So this book right here has a little square right in here. I'm going to put a title right inside that rectangle, right there. And then the rest of the book will just be plain. However, I did buy, the first time I made this, I bought a lot of little, are they SVG cutouts from Etsy of cat paws and cats and what else was it? There was paws and cats and several different, the word meow, I bought that. And oh, it just makes the book so cute. You'll see it when I do it. I'll be sure and show it to you. Okay, so here we have a dark coral. What color do we want to put on the dark coral? We've got 2 gray stripes on it. I don't know. Here's gray. I could put silver. That might look pretty with those 2 gray stripes. I'm not totally sure. Here's a really, really dark green. I don't like that. Here's a tan, a gold. You know what? I think I might like the silver the best. Is this fun? To me, this is fun. Oh my gosh. I was kind of sad when I got done. Yeah, I think that looks good with it right there. That gray one. And it matches those 2 bars. So we're going to do gray on that one. We're not going to do any of these yet because they're too covered up by his belly. This one down here is going to have a name on it. That's kind of a pale blue. It's got a yellow sticker. Let me see. Now, some of these, let me show you this. Some of these vinyls are psychedelic or neon. Be careful of those because they're going to just really pop off your quilt. Now, this is a yellow. That's a yellow. I don't know if I like that or not. I don't know. So I'll do a hold on that book. Then I've got a red book underneath that. I think it needs black letters. I think the red book needs black letters. It's called something, Snakes in the Grass. This isn't black though. This is kind of a really dark green. I have black. I have black. That red book's going to have black letters. Now remember, I skipped this book. I'm not sure about that one yet. I might do white on that one. White is always good. It shows up good. That one might have white. Yeah. Here is a really pretty, soft white glitter. Oh, it's just so soft. Really pretty. Ooh, I love it. So one of those for that book. Or maybe the yellow. That's such a dark yellow though. Let me see if I have a lighter yellow. See why you have to have a whole bunch of boxes? You can't have just one box. You have to have a whole bunch of boxes. Just like you have to have 600 patterns to make a garment. You know how that goes. Isn't that pretty? When I was making the first one for my friend Bev, I was constantly buying more vinyl. More vinyl, more vinyl, more vinyl, more vinyl. Oh, crazy, crazy girl. Okay, what are we putting on that last one? Story of Boots. It's got a white label on it, so it's going to have white. That one's going to have white. Story of Boots. That one right there. This is a maybe on that blue right there. and then black on that. Okay, so this is one of the things you have to figure out. This probably takes me so long. And if you, for some reason, are in a hurry to make this for a baby or something, I would say put one title on it with the baby's name on it and forget the rest of the books. Get the cats put down on it, sew around them as fast as you can, and then do I custom quilted this that I made, the first one that I made. I custom quilted every square inch of it. And so if I was doing this and trying to do it fast and get it done, I would definitely just do an overall. Absolutely. So you saw how I made the titles in Canvas Workspace. You saw how I printed out a copy of them. I showed you over there. And that has been sent over to the scan and cut. So now I'm going to go to the scan and cut. And you say, well, you've got all of those titles there on one sheet. Well, I can change that. I can pick just the titles that I want. I can do delete, 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 and have just the ones I want. Because what I will have on the mat, I'm going to have a mat. The plastic is going to be removed. And I am going to put this down on the mat, shiny side down, letters in reverse. And I'm only going to cut a strip. Like that thing that you saw that was just, I don't know, 2 by 8, whatever it was. I would cut a strip a little bit bigger than 2 by 8, and that's all I would put down on the mat. So I could have a strip of this, and a strip of this, and a strip of this, and a strip of this, you understand? And then I can put that many titles. I hope that makes sense. So once you finally get your act together and figure out what you really want to do, then you can make some progress. Okay? I'll be back. There's my block. You can see I've got 6 post-it notes on there. On the post-it notes, I have the name of the book and the size I want to make the title. Name of the book, size of the title. Name of the book, size of the title. Okay? Over here, I have put in all 6 of those titles. I have made them be the color, sort of, what color I'm going to cut them out of. Balancing Act is actually going to be a glittery white. Cattails is actually going to be 2 words, cat on top of tails. That's why they're separate like that. Now this is at 50%. You can make this 100% and see what these are really going to look like. See, you can see they're easy to read, they're plenty big. So what I'm going to do now is send those over to the scan and cut. Then I'm going to get the vinyl already on one of those mats over there. There's about 6 or 8 mats hanging on that hook. I will pick the mat that I put vinyl on. I will line up my 6 different colors of strips. Then I will feed it into the scan and cut and tell it to cut out all of these titles. Here I want you to notice how I have flipped, reversed 5 of the titles. The bottom one, Tale of Two Kitties, is still the normal way, not reversed. Why is that? That's because this print vinyl has to be cut right side up. It's a very strange way. I'll show you when I get to it. But just keep it separate from your other titles, okay? So I have transferred that right there over to my scan and cut. Remember my note that I put on there? Did you reverse it? Yes. I didn't at first, but that reminded me. Here you can see my strips that I cut out. I looked at my sizes and then I cut the vinyl strips larger, longer and taller. So they are all there. This is white. That's white right there. And this is white right here. White and white. Black, gray, purple. So I'm going to come here to retrieve data. And I'm going to look here in the wireless department because that's the way it was sent. And there it is. See, you can tell they're all backwards except for the bottom one. So that's what I'm looking for here. So okay, that's what I want and it's ready to edit. I figure if I can get one done a day of the names will take, I don't know, maybe I could do several blocks with just the names. But the kitties, sewing around the kitties and their eyeballs and everything, that will take me 1 day per cat. So I've still got plenty of days left if I stick with it. What I want to do is make sure that my words land on these strips. They're not going to come out and just automatically land on these strips. That's not going to happen. What we're going to do is we're going to get a pokey, a stylus. This is the one that came with it. You can use just about anything else. What you have to do is scan this, and it's going to be hard to pick up this white. You don't want any corners curling up because they will get caught up in there. If you think that's going to happen, use some Scotch tape. You can put Scotch tape all over this thing. It won't bother it. You will sure wish you had if these corners curl up. This is a pretty new mat, so I'm surprised it's not sticking better than it is. I rolled it with my roly-poly. Yes, I did. I have one of everything. So, how are we going to know if the letters of the book titles are going to line up on these colors? What we're going to have to do is scan this mat and take a picture of it. Hence the name Scan and Cut. You see this little picture right here that looks like a mat? You pick it and then it says Start. Now I am pretty sure it thinks I've got a 12 by 24 mat in here. I'm going to go back and hit the wrench and tell it that, yeah, it does. It thinks it's 24 inches long. So I'm going to pick the 12 by 12 mat, hit OK. Otherwise, it would have spit it back out. It wouldn't have liked it. All right, so now we're going to push the mat and we're going to hit Start. And it's going to take a picture of the top of that mat and everything that's on it. It'll probably be hard to see the white, but you'd be surprised. You actually can sometimes. This white here is a glittery one, and this white up here is just a plain one. Okay, so now it's my job to remember what goes where. So we've got the story of boots right up here, and I can see the white. Click the wrench. Remember, if you don't know where something is, click the wrench. I changed it so the white would show up better. The white actually does show up. I doubt you can see it, but I can. So I'm going to put that right on that white. Yeah. Now the next one goes on black, and I'll guarantee you I can't see that. I'm going to choose the other version. There, now I can see the black. Alright, Tale of Two Kitties. We're not going to need that one. We're going to delete it. Hit Edit, hit the trash can, and hit OK. Do you want to delete this? Yes. Okay, so now the one that's going to be on the pretty print, it's gone. It's not here anymore. So the purple, we know that on the purple we're going to get Eat, Sleep, Pray. So we're going to bring purple, Eat, Sleep, Pray down there to the purple. And since I cut the purple a little bit bigger, it fits perfect. We're going to hit Cat Tails and put it on that gray piece right there. Sometimes you might need a pointy thing. They don't have to be lined up, but it's kind of nice if they are. Alright, so I've got cat tails here on this one. Now, let me see, I've got Balancing Act goes down on the glitter right there. I'm having a hard time seeing the glitter. And this one that says Snakes in the Grass goes on this black one. You can see the black one real good. I'm going to go in here again and I am going to change it back to this other view. Yeah, the black is completely covered up, but I can see the white Balancing Act, and I can see that I'm almost to the edge of it. So I'm going to bring that right to there. Yeah. A Balancing Act. See it curling up? Oh my goodness, don't let it do that. You are the boss of it, just like when you're sewing. Don't let it curl up on you. And this is a new mat. I don't know why it's so difficult sometimes, but it is. Believe me. It can be extremely difficult. Alright, so I've got this taped, that taped, that taped, that taped. Let me tape this side. I don't want to let the mat back out, so I'm just taping it with it already in there. All right, that's taped. That corner is not taped right there. So I'll tape it. There. If you get tape on top of this, it won't matter, even it cuts into the tape, because this is the backing of the letters, and it's all going in the garbage anyway. The back of this vinyl is all going in the trash. So don't worry about that. Just make sure it stays down, because it will cause you all kinds of trouble. Now, we are going to switch blades. I've got the gold blade in here. The gold blade is for material, fabric. We're not cutting fabric, we're cutting vinyl. I've got a brand new blade in this, and oh, is it wonderful. I probably need a brand new blade in the vinyl, but we're going to do a test cut and see. I hate to change the blade if it doesn't need it, because they're 16 bucks. Okay, so now I've got the black vinyl blade in there. Okay, so now you just keep on hitting OK until you get Please Select. Do you see it says Please Select? Once you're done editing, and you know that's where you want it to be, and it's going to land on these colors where you want it to land, then you go to Please Select, and you're going to select Cut. Now, very, very important, and you all read your directions, read your directions, read your directions. Vinyl uses half cut. Material does not use half cut. Material cuts all the way through to the board. Vinyl only cuts halfway through, okay? Very important that you put vinyl on half cut. So over here on cut, we're going to go to the wrench because it says half cut off. We want to make sure half cut is on. That's the weeding box. We don't need a weeding box because we've got little bitty pieces. Here's half cut. We want to turn half cut on. We want the cut pressure to be 2. For starters, we want it to be 2. Okay, so I am going to do a test, and I am going to show it where I want it to do the test at. Hopefully. Test. Now it shows me my strips. I can see this black, this white, this gray. I really have the most room on the gray. I'm going to cut out a triangle. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller triangle because I made it bigger the other day. I don't need it that big today. Okay. Now I'm going to take this little triangle and I'm going to tell it where I want it cut out. I want it cut out right there on the corner of that black. It's going to cut out right here on the corner of this black piece. So I'm going to tell it to do that, and then we'll see if that works or not. Start. And there it goes. It wants to be difficult. Nature of the beast. So here's the sample that it cut out. So we're going to see if it'll come out of here. Will you come out? Yes, it came out. Look at that. There it is. It came out, the triangle. And that's what we want. We want it to come out, but leave the backing still there. So it's going to cut fine on a 2. It might cut better on a 3, I don't know, but we're going to use a 2. If you get the depth too strong, if you put it on a 3 and it doesn't want to be a 3, it's going to cut through your cardboard. These things are 40 bucks. Don't do that. All right, my friends, let's tell it to go. My first titles. I'm so excited. Okay, let's hit start and let it cut. Start. It says it's going to take 8 minutes, but it won't. I don't know why it says that. It'll probably take, goodness, 3, maybe not. Maybe all these letters takes a little more time. Well, you don't want to wait 8 minutes. I'll bring you back when it's all cut out and we'll see how it looks then. How about that? We're done cutting, and it did not take 8 minutes. It took maybe 4 or 5 at the most. Before we release it, let's make sure everything cut. Now let me tell you about vinyl. Vinyl is 2 sheets of something. A sheet of something on the bottom and a sheet of something on the top. You cut it upside down. You think you're probably not cutting the vinyl because it looks like the vinyl's upside down, but it's not. The part down here that's stuck to your mat is just a carrying sheet, a sticky sheet. Think of it like Wonder Under or something. It's just a sticky sheet that's holding your vinyl. So when you cut, and you're cutting a half cut because you're only cutting through this layer. You're not cutting through that layer. Or you would just have a whole bunch of letters all flying around loose everywhere. Okay? So your vinyl's here. It's upside down. The pretty part is right here. This clear sheet on the bottom is stuck to your mat. Then you cut through all the top of the back side of the vinyl. Then what you do is you remove all of the part you do not want. Everything is stuck to this bottom sheet. Now it's cut. You're going to take off everything you don't want. Don't do like I did the first time, and I peeled off all the letters. And I had letters all over the place. And all I had left was what was outside the letters. And I'm like, how am I ever going to line these up and get them straight again? Okay. So, you've got everything's cut out of this now. The pretty part of the vinyl is down here on the bottom. The extra sheet is down here on the bottom. This part is not cut. It's still whole. This piece down here is still whole. This part is cut. You're going to pull off all the part you don't want of this top sheet. The piece that I did, a triangle that I just cut off, you saw me do that. That's something I do not want. But here where the triangle's missing, underneath it is still that bottom sheet. So what I want to do is try to pull this. It's called weeding. Weeding is taking off all the vinyl that you don't want to keep. Now if you have a huge piece of vinyl on here and you do want to keep it, you would just cut it off in two pieces. You would keep the two pieces together and cut it off. But in this case, you've got to start, there it is, see? Here it is. Now this is the part I don't want. This is the part that's going in the trash. And I am just peeling it up to make sure it's cut. And it is cut. So see how I'm peeling the outside part off and the letters are still down there. This is called weeding. So I am going to now let this out of here. Let me make sure it did it on the glitter piece, because the glitter piece is a little different. Let's make sure. You're going to have to cut out the insides of the E's and the O's, and like here there's a B and it's got 2 dots inside. Yeah, it cut good. Ah, there's 1 dot. See that dot? That's trash. So I'm going to release this, push the mat button, release it. Now it's out here where I can work with it. So I'm going to peel off, get your Scotch tape off of here. Scotch tape isn't going to hurt the mat and it isn't going to hurt the vinyl. Alright, here you can see. I wish there was a video I could have watched like this when I started this. You just can't believe how hard it was for me. I could not understand why you would put it upside down. Why you would reverse the letters. Why when you put it upside down it looked like it was right side up. See, right here is the word play. See? See what's left? Those are the letters. You can't read them yet because there's still icky parts. There's still lots of this that has to be pulled off. That is called weeding. Hopefully you have really, really good eyesight and you can see it. See there, that E now? See the E? Now, let me get the middle of the A. You have to be able to see so you don't poke the wrong part. Now you can see the word eat. And you can see it's backwards. So I have to put it down like this. Upside down. Oh, technology. You know, there's some really smart people out there in the world. Get some glasses. What happens if I mess up the P? What happens? I didn't mess it up too bad. Got a little pokey in it. If you mess it up, then you can recut just that one letter. It is hard to see. These are tiny. And you're just looking for a cut. There we go. We've got that cleaned up except for the 2 E's here. E, E. I don't like me to show on the camera, but okay. There we go. Can you see eat, sleep, pray? It's going to be perfect on the book because we're going to turn it around and pop it down. Alright, so now how do I get those letters off of here? Now imagine the first time I did this, I was doing a t-shirt. I don't remember the words I was putting on it. But I left all this on there. And I pulled all the letters off because I thought I needed the letters. Don't do that. Don't do that. What you do is you pull this up now from the clear. Remember the extra sheet I told you about? Here it is. It's just a clear sheet. See? There it is. And it's got the letters on it. And I can read it right this way. I don't know how it looks to y'all. I think that looks right. See? And so it will iron on the book now the proper way. That is awesome. You want to see it on the book? Of course you do. Okay, so this, remember, we've got a purple stripe. And so these words go right here. Now, I won't just put them down like that. I will measure from here to here, and here to here, and here to here, and here to here. And I will make sure that's totally, totally centered. Now, this isn't going to decrease anymore because it's totally enclosed. But this will go right there. Put a press cloth over it. Hold it down 15 seconds. Let go. Let it cool. Peel this off, and the letters will stay behind. Do you just love it like I do? I just love it. So, what do you think? Are you just so excited? Like I said, we're probably going to have to hang this in our bedroom. Get rid of the TV and hang this on the wall.